Hey guys, welcome to our second lesson, the second flip lesson. This one is over other kinds of nouns. Last week we talked about the different types of nouns, and if you remember, they were common nouns, proper nouns, concrete nouns, abstract nouns, and collective nouns. If you need a second to figure out what those are, take a minute, look in your writing binder over the notes you took last week. For this week, you should have a note page that I handed out to you at the beginning of class. It has 3 holes in it. This means it goes into your notes section of your writing binder, so there should be no reason why I find them on the floor. Make sure you put your name on it, so if by chance I do find it on the floor, I can return it to its happy owner. Okay, this week, the first kinds of nouns we're going to talk about are singular and plural nouns. A singular noun, as you guys might have guessed, names one person, place, thing, or idea. And plural nouns name more than one person, place, thing, or idea. So that means there's 2 or more to make it plural. Okay, now let's talk about turning these singular nouns into, which, remember, singular means one. Let's turn these singular nouns into plural nouns, which means 2 or more. So any singular noun that ends in S, SS, X, CH, or SH needs to have an ES at the end of it. I've given you guys many examples right here: bias, abyss, fox, sandwich, and church. And I even gave you a picture of a sandwich. The next kind of noun that turns in, needs to be turned into a plural are ones that end in Y. And we have different rules for those that are consonants and those are vowels. So we'll start with the consonants. Nouns that end in a consonant plus a Y, you change the Y to I and add ES. So the examples I have for you right now are daisy, spy, pony, and pony. So if you can think of any more, you can write those down as well. Next, we have nouns that end in a vowel. Vowels, if you remember, are A, E, I, O, or U. So nouns that end in a vowel plus a Y, you need to add S. So I have annoy, monkey, and toys. Whoops. Next thing we're going to move on to are possessive nouns. Possessive nouns are nouns that show ownership. Who or what is owning the noun. For example, I have a cat, and her name is Sophie. So she is referred to as Miss Thomas's cat because I own her. First one is the singular possessive. These nouns are formed by adding an apostrophe S. The incorrect sentence would be, the church pews were replaced. Now, that sentence is fine on its own, but if I wanted to turn that into a possessive, I would say the church's pews were replaced by adding that apostrophe S. See? Here's an example. Plural of churches is on the left side. Singular possessive, the church's pews. Now we move on to plural possessives. If these end in an S, these plural possessives, a possessive is formed by adding an apostrophe. So the incorrect sentence I have, the abyss darkness went on forever. I added an apostrophe, and that turned the darkness into the abyss's darkness. So we have plural possessives continued. A plural possessive not ending in an S is formed by adding an apostrophe S. The incorrect sentence I have is the children toy box was filled with different toys. How I corrected that, I said the children's toy box was filled with different toys. So that toy box is owned by the children. Okay, so that was pretty short this week. There was a lot less instruction this time around, but that's okay. You guys seem to have gotten it pretty well last week. So now we can spend more time on the practice part of this. Once people are finished with the recording, we'll play a bit of a competition game. And we will also have a quiz this week over the nouns and on the nouns we talked about last week as well. So, go ahead and get started on your packet or your quiz. I actually would prefer if you worked on the quiz first, so that way maybe as people get done, we can stop and we can play the game when everyone's done. Okay? So, if you have any questions about what you need to do, please raise your hand. You will not need this iPad anymore, so once you have turned this off, replace the iPad and return your headphones.